Hello students, I'm Jerlyn Kayans and I'm a student at St. Joseph's Training College, Mananam. We, the BA trainees of St. Joseph's College, are so happy to present before you a video lesson in English of Standard 10 of Kerala syllabus. So, this is the fifth video lesson for the chapter The Snake and the Mirror. Hope you're already familiar with the author Y.K. Muhammad Bashir, who is popularly known as Baipur Sultan. As you can see in the picture, in 2009, India issues a stamp on this famous writer. You are really lucky to learn one of his notable humorous short stories. We do hope that these video lessons will help you learn the lesson well. So, let's get started. So, we have seen that our protagonist, Doctor, was sitting on a chair in front of the mirror and was admiring his own beauty. Suddenly, a snake fell on the ground and coiled around his left arm above the elbow. Now, let's see what happened to the doctor. Let me read it for you. Try to read silently along with me. At my slightest movement, the snake would strike me. Death lurked 4 inches away. Suppose it struck, what was the medicine I had to take? There were no medicines in the room. I was but a poor, foolish, and stupid doctor. I forgot my danger and smiled feebly at myself. It seemed as if God appreciated that. The snake turned its head. It looked into the mirror and saw its reflection. I do not claim that it was the first snake that had ever looked into a mirror. But it was certain that the snake was looking into the mirror. Was it admiring its own beauty? Was it to make an important decision about growing a mustache, or using eyeshadow and mascara, or wearing a vermilion spot on its forehead? I did not know anything for certain. What sex was the snake? Was it male or female? I will never know, for the snake unwound itself from my arm and slowly slithered into my lap. From there, it crept onto the table and moved towards the mirror. Perhaps it wanted to enjoy its reflection at closer quarters. I was no mere image cut in granite. I was suddenly a man of flesh and blood. Still holding my breath, I got up from the chair. I quietly went out through the door into the veranda. From there, I leapt into the yard and ran for all I was worth. Now, let's look at a few new words which you may not be that familiar with. In the picture, you can see a cat is hiding in the grass to catch a mouse. Now, read the sentence. The cat lurked in grass waiting for a mouse to pass by. So, what would be the meaning of the word lurk here? Yes, lurk means to wait somewhere secretly. The cat is secretly waiting to catch a mouse. The next word is feebly. Feebly means in a weak way, without energy or strength. Look at that picture. She smiled feebly. She smiled in a weak way. The next word is certain. Certain means for sure. I'll tell you some examples. I'm certain this is true, which means I'm sure that this is true. We are certain that the results will be positive. We are sure that the results will be positive. So, the word meaning certain is sure. The next word is admire. Look at that picture. Can you identify that person? Yes, It is Malala Yousafzai. Please read that quote along with me. All I want is an education, and I am afraid of no one. Now I'll tell you one sentence. I have great admiration for her courage. So, what will be the meaning of the word admiration? Admire means praise or respect. I have great respect for her courage. The next word is mustache. Some of you might be confused about the pronunciation of this word. This word is pronounced as mustache. I think you have already learned this word meaning in the third video. In the picture, you can see two famous actors with beautiful mustaches. The first one is Charlie Chaplin. Charlie Chaplin was famous for his toothbrush mustache. Twisting the mustache is the trademark style of actor Mohanlal. So, mustache is a strip of hair left to grow above the upper lip in men. The next word is vermilion. This word is pronounced as vermilion. The R is silent here. Vermilion means it is a brilliant red color. She is wearing a vermilion spot on her forehead. Vermilion spot on forehead here shows the red colored bindi used by the Indian girls. The next word is slither. You have already learned this meaning in the last video. Slither means move smoothly over a surface with a twisting or oscillating motion. In the picture, you can see a snake. The snake slithered through the garden. It refers to the twisting and oscillatory motion of snakes. The last word is leapt. In the picture given, you can see the dog leapt over the fence. Leapt is the past tense of the word leap. It means to jump. Now that you're familiar with the words, let's try to understand the story better. The first paragraph. At my slightest movement, the snake would strike me. Death lurked 4 inches away. The doctor didn't try to move a little bit because he was aware that death was waiting at his slightest movement. Suppose I struck, what was the medicine I had to take? There were no medicines in the room. I was but a poor, foolish and stupid doctor. I forgot my danger and smiled feebly at myself. The doctor thought that he was a poor, stupid doctor because the snake could bite him at any moment and he had no medicine in stock for snake bite. He was feeling very weak. He could do nothing but smile at himself. The next paragraph. It seemed as if God appreciated that. The snake turned its head. It looked into the mirror and saw its reflection. So he was thinking God appreciated him for his realization as a stupid doctor. And God did a favor to the doctor. What was the favor? Yes, the snake turned its head to mirror and looked into its reflection. The doctor believed that it was the action of God. I do not claim that it was the first snake that had ever looked into a mirror, but it was certain that the snake was looking into the mirror. Was it admiring its own beauty? Was it to make an important decision about growing a mustache, or using eyeshadow and mascara, or wearing a vermilion spot on its forehead? So, the doctor doesn't know whether it is the first snake that had ever looked into a mirror. But he was sure that this snake was looking deeply into its reflection. Many things rushed into his mind. He thought The snake was also doing the same as he did before. The doctor was not aware about the sex of the snake, so he thought the snake might be looking at the mirror and thinking that it would grow a mustache or wear an eyeshadow or a vermilion spot on its forehead so that it looks more pretty. Maybe the snake would be admiring its beauty or it would be planning to become more prettier. I did not know anything for certain. What sex was the snake? Was it male or female? I will never know, for the snake unwound itself from my arm and slowly slithered into my lap. From there, it crept onto the table and moved towards the mirror. Perhaps it wanted to enjoy its reflection at closer quarters. So, here the snake suddenly crept onto the table and moved closer towards the mirror. The doctor thought that the snake might want to look at itself and have a closer look of its appearance. The last paragraph. I was no mere image cut in granite. I was suddenly a man of flesh and blood. Still holding my breath, I got up from the chair. I quietly went out through the door into the veranda. From there, I leapt into the yard and ran for all I was worth. Until then, he was holding his breath because a slightest movement would provoke the snake to bite him. When the snake moved on to the table, the doctor stood up and jumped into the yard and ran with all his strength. Okay, I think now you got a clear idea about the story. Now let's try to answer a few questions from this part. All of you, please take your notebooks. Read the questions, think about it, then pause the video and write the answers in your notebook. Should I read it for you? Okay, then I'll read the questions. The first question is, why did he feel that he was a stupid doctor? Second question, what did the doctor do when the snake crept onto the table from his lap? Third question, I was suddenly a man of flesh and blood. What does the doctor mean by this statement? Now you can pause the video and write your answers. You can take your own time. Have you finished writing? Now you can watch the answers as they come up next in the video. First question, why did he feel that he was a stupid doctor? The answer is, the snake could bite him at any moment. Though he was a doctor, he had no medicine in stock for snake bite, so he thought that he was a poor stupid doctor. Second question is, what did the doctor do when the snake crept onto the table from his lap? The answer is, the doctor leapt into the yard and ran to his friend's house. The third question, I was suddenly a man of flesh and blood. What does the doctor mean by this statement? The answer is, when the snake moved away from his body, the fear also disappeared and he could get up and go out through the door, and it was like getting a new life. Okay, students, now all of you please take your textbook, page number 28. There are many activities given. Now we are going to do the activity number 1. You have to fill up the table given by picking up some sentences from the textbook. Fill the first column using the sentences that indicates doctor was afraid of the snake. And in the second column, write the sentences that shows the doctor was proud of his appearance. I think it's a very simple task. Once again, pause the video and fill it in your textbook. Have you finished? You can cross-check your answers as they come up next in the video. So the sentences that indicate the doctor was afraid of the snake are: I was turned to a stone. I ran for all I was worth. I sat there like a stone image in the flesh. I ran and ran till I reached a friend's house. I sat there holding my breath. And the sentences that shows the doctor was proud of his appearance are: I looked into the mirror and smiled. It was an attractive smile. I was after all a bachelor and a doctor too. I would shave daily and grow a thin mustache to look more handsome. I would keep a smile to look more attractive. I think you have already cross-checked all the answers. Okay, then let's stop for the time being. We'll study the last part of the lesson in the next video. Thank you, dear students. Happy learning.